The empire does not want people to live independently of it. The empire wants all human beings to be plugged into the matrix, to go to work at a job for the empire, and then buy groceries and the things that you need to sustain your life from the empire. This way, the emperor can tax you and profit from every one of your basic human needs. Imperialism does not want you to be independent, it wants you to be dependent. It's no coincidence that the word or the concept of communityism has been slandered in your mind. It has been a deliberate effort. The greatest threat to an empirical social order is communityism.
System malfunction. System malfunction.
What is happening, YouTube? Download Malfunction. I hope this post finds you well and that you're doing your best to survive amidst the trickery and the carnage that is the downfall of our society. While digging through the Dipsy dumpster the other day, that is TikTok, I found this extremely inspirational message by this gentleman that I follow on TikTok. But my greater fear is that the mental capacity of the masses are so far underdeveloped that the simplicity in his message will fail to register, because that is the reality of the modern man. So as a result, I am here to act as a beacon of light and try my best to regurgitate this to you in hopes that you retain just a small portion of this, because I am confident that this will wipe away some of the filter so that you can see the world for what it really is. But before we get into it, I must give a shout out to some of my most engaging and thought-provoking followers. Katari Sanastasios, Dare 5358, Mr. My Elverton, and My 2 Cent Advice RKB. My gratitude is extremely high for your engagement and your support, so I thank you for that. And don't forget, the plan today is to go live sometime in the second week of April. I'm still thinking Tuesday or Wednesday around 8 o'clock. So if you'd like to come up and join the panel discussion on a few topics that we can kick around, go ahead and send me an email at downloadmalfunction@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and blast over the link to you so that you're able to join the live and share your perspective. And once again, I'm deeply appreciative of your support. Now, this gentleman delivers a very simple message on opposing ideologies. On the one hand, it's about individualism, and on the other hand, it's about togetherness or community, or the word that we have been taught to fear since about 1917 or 1920, which is communism. But he breaks it down succinctly, so pay attention, and I'll pop in from time to time to give my perspective and to try and provide a layman's explanation to what he's saying.
There is a reason that Americans have been made to fear the word communism. For about 100 years, there has been a consolidated effort to slander the concept of communism in the eyes of Western civilization. The population has been deliberately programmed, kind of trained like Pavlov's dogs, to associate the word communism with evil. Let's get into it. The root of the word communism is community. In other words, communism is communityism. The human species is a tribal species. Communityism is a form of tribalism. America was not originally intended to be an empire. It was supposed to be just a bunch of land where people can live freely and do what they want. In the early 1900s, the imperialists began changing the direction of America. An empirical social order is a giant pyramid scheme. It is a top-down, one-world order. Under imperialism, the entire population is subject to the rule of an emperor.
You know, honestly speaking, I don't know what the true or the original intentions were of the Europeans that jumped on those massive ships and sailed across the Atlantic and the Pacific to come to these new beautiful lands and to displace the people who were already living here and thriving here. But as he starts to break down the root understanding of what the word communist or community is, that is what has been in existence across the world over. People always have been in tribes. We are a social animal, So we need people in order for our vibrations to be healthy enough to be sustainable. Because if not, that's where you get a lot of the problems and a lot of the delinquency within our society that we see today. The fact of the matter is, we are not designed to be roaming around the earth as solitary individuals. That's why people have convictions towards a higher being. They always need somebody there, even if they're not there in the physical form. In the back of their minds, there is an argument to be had about the comfort that people need in knowing that they're not on this journey alone. Oftentimes you find people who say, hey, I'm not religious. Hey, that's fine. And then they say, but I do believe in a higher power. That's even more fine. But I think that just proves that there's an innate driver for us to be together in a community.
Of an emperor. Tribalism or communityism simply means that a community or a tribe of people lives independently and freely from any other governance. In communityism, a group of people work together to meet their basic human needs for food, clothing, and shelter. The empire does not want people to live independently of it. The empire wants all human beings to be plugged into the matrix, to go to work at a job for the empire, and then buy groceries and the things that you need to sustain your life from the empire. This way, the emperor can tax you and profit from every one of your basic human needs.
Listen, if you cannot see this in your day-to-day life, then there's nothing out there that's going to be able to help you. Just to throw out some simple examples for you to be able to wrap your head around. Just analyze an average day in the life of you. You get up in the morning, maybe you gotta run to the gas station to fill up your car so that you're able to get back to work for the rest of the week. You're taxed. You gotta run to the grocery store to pick up a carton of eggs, maybe a loaf of bread. You're taxed. You can't even buy a simple stick of bubble gum without you being taxed. Take a good look at your paycheck. It's taxed. And every single year, sometime around this time, taxes are due. And like I always say, you're gonna pay those taxes whether you like it or not. You can think that you're Wesley Snipes and try and evade the taxes until you find yourself in the slammer doing 23-1 in solitary confinement. It should be clear that every move you make is taxed. Your electricity, your air conditioning, your water. The big dog is always going to be there with his checkbook tallying up every single thing that you touch so that he can have a conversation with you at the end of the year to find out just how deep he's going to dig into those pockets while you stand there with that sappy look on your face because you can't do shit about it. He also made a point about sourcing our foods. Who owns that market? It's not like you or your neighbors are growing all the necessities in your backyard as well as curating water for everybody to be healthy. You gotta go to the big dog and ask him for those things while you stay on that hamster wheel in the home of the brave and the land of the free.
Imperialism does not want you to be independent, it wants you to be dependent. It's no coincidence that the word or the concept of communityism has been slandered in your mind. It has been a deliberate effort. The greatest threat to an empirical social order is communityism.
And this they know. They are always 100 steps ahead of us, devising new schemes to keep us divided. Our divisions and dysfunction works in their favor. It is the air or the oxygen that provides the breath of life for their existence. But sadly, no matter what message of truth is put before you, you are always gonna fall victim to their madness.
System malfunction.